Every now and then, history turns on a decision so small, so buried in paperwork and budget meetings that no one notices it happening. This is one of those decisions. The year is 1987. Somewhere inside the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, a funding review is underway. Artificial intelligence has had a bad decade. Promises were made that machines couldn't keep. Money poured in. Results trickled out. The people holding the checkbooks are tired of waiting. In our timeline, the answer was simple. Cut the funding. Let the field collapse under its own weight. And it did, for nearly 20 years. But 1 year earlier, in 1986, 3 researchers at Carnegie Mellon published a paper almost nobody read. It didn't promise intelligent machines. It didn't promise anything, really. It just described a method, a way to teach a network of connected nodes to learn from its own mistakes. They called it backpropagation. It was, in hindsight, the blueprint for everything. In our world, it was ignored for a decade. But what if someone in that room had read it? In this alternate 1987, DARPA doesn't pull the plug. Instead, it redirects. The $1 billion that would have evaporated gets funneled, not into the rule-based expert systems that had already failed, but into neural network research, into the approach that Hinton and his colleagues had quietly cracked the year before. The researchers who would have spent the 1990s working on other things or leaving the field entirely stay. The field doesn't scatter, it compounds. By 1992, machines can reliably recognize human speech, not perfectly, but well enough. By 1994, they can read handwriting, sort mail, flag fraudulent transactions in real time. None of this sounds revolutionary until you consider the speed. By 1997, the effects are visible to anyone paying attention and invisible to everyone who isn't. The bank teller job is gone. Not slowly the way it happened in our world, but fast, inside a single decade. ATMs don't just dispense cash anymore, they approve loans. They flag your spending. They know your voice. The travel agent is gone. The data entry clerk is gone. The operator who used to connect your calls. Gone before the millennium. In our world, this happened too, but spread across 30 years, slow enough that society could absorb it, adapt to it, argue about it on the internet for a decade before it really bit. In this world, it happens in 10. The argument doesn't happen first, the disruption does. Some cities don't make it through the transition. Others transform faster than anyone thought possible. Detroit doesn't fall the way it does in our timeline. It pivots. Because the auto industry has a decade's head start on automation and builds the infrastructure around it instead of against it. There is no clean story here. There never is. By 2005, something that looks recognizably like the AI we know today already exists. It isn't called artificial intelligence anymore. That term burned with the funding cuts that never happened, so it was never rehabilitated, never rebranded. It's just called the network. It writes, it reasons, it advises. Governments that moved fast have it embedded in infrastructure, logistics, medicine. Governments that moved slow are beginning to understand what they missed. The geopolitical map doesn't look the same. It couldn't. When a technology this foundational arrives 20 years early, the countries that were positioned to absorb it, that had the universities, the funding structures, the talent, pull ahead in ways that don't correct themselves. The balance of power in 2010 looks nothing like the balance of power we know. By 2026, the year we're living in, This alternate world has had 40 years of continuous AI development instead of 20. It has solved problems we're still arguing about. It has created problems we haven't imagined yet. The climate math looks different. Medicine moved faster, so did surveillance. So did the tools that governments use to watch their own people. Was it better? That depends entirely on who you ask. And in this world, as in ours, the answer to that question is not evenly distributed. One decision, one meeting, one paper that someone actually read. The past, you know, is only one of them.